Don't even worry. You didn't even count me down.
I'm so sorry. We gonna jump this countdown. The button just jumped itself. Not me. It wasn't.
Welcome to the show with the trifecta Suplexes, but no flex at all. It's time to talk wrestling with the Kings. I know we're kings, but I like to say kings. It's time for an all new episode of the Three Amigos podcast show. Without any further ado, let's introduce you to the esteemed host of the Three Amigos podcast show. As always, me, I'm first, La Primavera. There's always no shook hands in Brooklyn. If you don't know me, you will. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense at all. The bottom line is always the dollar sign. I am brilliant, bright, and always willing to fight. I am Mr. Brandon Dog.
Yeah, man.
Thank y'all so much out there in the live world for tuning in to us. Make sure that you are here on our YouTube, checking us out. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you share, you do all that good stuff. You comment. We love it. We want to hear the feedback. But moving on to our second suplex, we're going to move on, hailing originally from the livest borough, Flatbush, Brooklyn. He's the meanest on the wheels of steels. He's the voice of the Turnbuckle Talk and the realest on the turntables.
Fix your face.
He is the Panamanian God. He
Not Hulk Hogan.
is the Messiah King.
Yes. I may not be here for a long time, but we definitely gonna have a good time.
You know, grand opening, grand closing, right?
You damn right.
What they say, conspicuous by his absence right now. He's also hailing from the concrete jungle somewhere in an Uber. He stands at 6'4". He's lyrical, miracle, hopefully spiritual, criminal, minimal, bare minimum aluminum bars. He is our reigning Bruno Sammartino, 10 times NPWA, that is the National Park Wrestling Alliance champion. He is Big Daddy Cool Sour Diesel. But he's currently giving regular and premium because he's not here. Last but not least, this is the Three Amigos Show, but we're also the four podsmen. We're a lot of things. It's the fourth suplex, even though there's three in the Three Amigos, but that's okay, right? More the merrier. He is the genius. He is our very own Storytime Ninja. He talks a little greasy from time to time, so that makes him a G. I want y'all to holler, because he is unapologetically a Grenadian scholar. Clap it up one time, y'all, for Masquerade Cam.
Okay.
That was good.
Okay. I was confused. You said clap it at one time. I thought it was like I didn't know that it was a.
You know, when you say clap it up, that means just.
I thought it was.
Yeah, clap it up one time instead of a round of applause. From bell to bell and rope to rope, it's time to lock it up with the Turnbuckle Talk. Without any further ado, Matt Shout King, what you got for us on the Turnbuckle Talk today?
I got a few things for us to discuss today.
Okay.
Yeah, I got definitely. Always ready and always prepared. That's what they call me. Now, nonetheless, okay. The first thing I want to talk about.
Who ringing?
Not me.
Okay, not me. All right. Nonetheless, the first thing I want to talk about is number one. Believe it or not, people are interested in possibly seeing The Rock become the president of the United States.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A new article dropped on that because that's been teased for a minute.
Yeah, there's actually now he's gaining more traction with this. Like what's happening is people are like, you know what? He may be the guy. He hasn't told his political party yet, which he represents. However, The Rock is an Elvis fan. Okay. He is. He's a
Just
big.
because he spent time down in Nashville with Harvey
Right.
Whippleman. So I mean,
Right.
You
this
know,
is why. But good.
he, you
Influence
know,
his product of your environment.
Yes.
you know, he knows the record by Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville. So
Right.
Who doesn't know the record by Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville?
I don't know the
after
words
having
to
a few
Margaritaville.
margaritas?
I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know the words to Margaritaville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at least you know the chorus and you know that it exists.
You know what's so funny? I've heard it so many years, but I've never focused on what the words actually say. You know, I know it says whisking away in Margaritaville. That's all I know.
Mhm.
That's
That's
literally all I
enough
know.
to know
That's
to sing
enough.
along.
That's enough.
Do you know the
Snap up a
word to
bottle
use
top
whenever you
or
don't know the
snap up
words
a
to a
bottle
song?
top. I don't know, something like that. What?
Do you know the words to use when you do not know the words to a song and you're lip
You just make
syncing?
your own shit up.
No, you watch this. Watch this. It goes with every song. It's
Well, okay, I know that's right. But here's the thing.
watermelon. So if you
Here's the
sing any song and you don't know the words, you just
Listen, can
in
I
a tempo.
say this? So you know the song by this has nothing to do with anything. You know the song by Cheryl Lynn, Encore?
My favorite song.
Okay. So I never knew that she said a taste of Encore easy because Encore. I
Yes.
thought she was always saying because I'm poor. But then, you know, like a
That has
taste of
nothing to do with it.
Encore easy because I'm poor. Now, if you listen, you're going to hear because I'm poor. But it's actually saying because Encore. So for like 30 years of hearing that record, I swear to God, I always thought it said, you know, because I'm poor.
I
But
love that. So no, Encore. That's my
yeah,
shit. Me and my brother,
shout
we
out
love
to Cheryl
that
Lynn.
song.
She's still alive.
Shout out to her.
So anyway, I'm thinking he's gonna lean Republican. I would be mighty surprised. And you know what? If he does lean Democrat, obviously, you know, I would be very happy with that. But if he's leaning Republican, I would see that more for him. One, he's in a very higher tax bracket. You know, he knows how to whisk away in Margaritaville, and I just I don't see this being a I don't see him being a Democrat. However, much like I wasn't a fan when Trump got elected, I'm not a fan of people that are celebrities being the president of the United States. All right, random thought.
I mean, well, we talked about it a little bit earlier this week when you said, was The Simpsons relevant? And no, they did not predict that The Rock would be the president. However, comedy did predict a lot of other things. And we did know that in the near future, we would see celebrities as current presidents. I don't know what party The Rock would go for anyway, but I could see him being Republican. I can see old Stone Cold fans, people who never really liked The Rock and wrestling, being like, I knew that nigga would be a Republican. Not that being a Republican is a bad thing. Right?
Not saying there's anything wrong with it.
Whatever you feel like your views are, you're more than welcome to that. However, I am interested to see what his points will be. I think he's very charismatic. I guess we would have another, like how we had Barack Obama when it comes to The Rock. I'm looking forward to seeing the speeches. I'm a WWE fan, so he would definitely have that already.
You know, he's good on the mic. He's good on the
He's
improv.
definitely great on the mic. He definitely could sell. I mean, aliens could be attacking, and if they do attack, at least we have The Rock at the helm. You know what I mean? Helping us fight if he does win.
Imagine at the end of the
I'm looking forward to see what he has going on in the presidential race. We're getting closer and closer to 2024. So let's see. Stranger things have happened, like Trump.
You are imagine at the end of the State of the Union, you go, if you smell what the president.
He's gonna go la.
So quick question though, right?
Good.
Because part of the premise of his TV show Young Rock. Is he is the president, right? Or he's running for president.
No, he lost. He lost.
But what party did he declare a party on that show? Or was this like a neutral?
No, he was more of an independent, and he lost. He was independent and he lost. And the whole premise was they were interviewing him and telling his stories about him coming up so that people could get to know the presidential candidate just a little bit more. But dope show. I'm mad that they canceled it. It was really good. I learned a lot. Cam, what you think about it? That's what your thoughts was?
No. I was gonna say that I think it make more sense for him to be a Democrat than to be a Republican, only because of where he came from, right? Like that's like the more like the American dream kind of story where it's like, I come and I represent minorities and poor folk, and look, we can make this work for us. And even what he just did with with Hawaii, where he started a fund to help them with the recovery efforts and stuff. So trying to help different things. I think that would make more sense. I guess selling it as a actual feasible idea to the masses, because there's a lot of people who kind of have like a sour taste in their mouth about the Republican Party, after the last couple of years. And I mean, there's still a space that has a sour taste about the Democratic Party because of what's going on with our current president.
All right. God bless America.
There's something like that.
God bless America. All right. Next on the list. By the way, I think Cam just announced he's a Republican, ladies and gentlemen. He just came out. He said, with our current president. So Cam, I know that's right, brother.
What?
That's right. Whiskey away in Margaritaville.
Listen, as long as he don't turn out to be like Ben Carson, we are all right.
Wow, you guys are on one. You guys are on one tonight.
All right, next. All right, this one's a deep dive for a second. Vince Russo is called out for being a fraud who never knew and never cared to know about the actual business of professional wrestling. So I was listening to Eric Bischoff's podcast early in the week, and he was discussing.
Why would you do such a thing? I'm just
because I'm actually a broadcast journalist. Random thoughts.
I understand, but you don't have to listen to other trash ones to become.
Okay, I listen to everybody.
That's
okay?
good. That's good.
I try my best.
That's so good.
And so he called out Vince Russo, and he said that he never knew or cared to know anything about the business of professional wrestling. Masquerade, why don't you tell us how you feel?
This surprises who though? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Who does this surprise? Like,
do you believe that Vince Russo had no idea about wrestling?
I feel like Vince Russo, after he learned what he could learn on how to make things work in his favor, stopped caring about wrestling. Not that he didn't know, but he just stopped caring about what was best for the fans and just kind of just was more or less booking things how he wanted it because he's on an ego trip type of thing. Like how the reports, came out, because I'm a kid back then, so I don't really know what's, Vince in real time what Vince Russo's like steps were. But after going back and looking it up and reading up about it and hearing other people's testimonials, he was a bit of an asshole. You know what I mean? So I don't think this is new news. I think the fact that somebody decided that they were just gonna flat out state, like, okay, officially, like, yeah, he didn't know what the hell he was doing. It makes sense, but it's not surprising.
I'm trying to figure out 25 years later, why the hell are we still talking about Vince Russo? I'm trying to figure out how's he managed, if he keeps coming on and saying stuff and talking, and we keep bringing this man up. We understand you turned WWE during the Attitude Era. You were partially in part of making it the Jerry Springer show. That's where you got your inspiration from, like as if it was original. We understand that you can't stand Vince McMahon and you bitter and you don't want a job. We get it.
Bro.
However, no shit, Sherlock. Look how you wrote the product, as my man said. You knew nothing about wrestling, and that was very okay. We have wrestlers, right? We have writers who are a part of wrestling right now who knows nothing about product. WWE actually looks for people who are not really that much fans of the product to write the product. So you don't need to know professional wrestling in order to be a writer. You just have to be a great writer that tells really good stories.
Yep.
Yep.
Not the rub in the forehead. Not the.
Vince Russo.
I my brother.
It's the migraine.
Here's the problem with Vince Russo, right? He just won't fucking disappear.
He won't.
And it's just he just won't. I mean, him and Hulk Hogan have made me almost hate the word bro and brother. And I just literally cannot understand why people bring this man's name up. So let's put something in perspective for a second. Vince Russo's a one-trick pony. Okay, all his best ideas were filtered through Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
When Vince Russo had the opportunity to prove that he actually is worth a damn, he ran the company into the ground. Okay, now true story, news at 11. He ran the fucking company into the ground.
Well, it was him. It was Hogan. It was...
Look, let me explain.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had nobody that was really over him.
Okay.
He had free reign. So yes, him amongst others, because the WCW was already on a decline when he took over, right? So it was just they needed Vince to come put the nail in the coffin, which give reasons to believe that the rumor that Vince McMahon sent Vince Russo over here to destroy the WCW, that rumor I always believe is absolutely correct. Then he came back for the WWE for a brief second. Then he was fired again. Then he went to TNA. And he cut one of the most scathing promos I would never forget, where he insulted everybody, which that's what he likes to do, right? He likes to call people out to the ring and call them all a piece of shit. That seems to be a part of his shtick, to use Cam's word, right? He likes to call people a piece of shit in the ring and tell them how much they suck.
He gets that from Mike Tyson, but go ahead.
Okay.
That ain't even original.
So then Eric Bischoff says Vince Russo never knew anything about wrestling. Let me tell you something, right? Eric, you're not going to win no Pulitzer Prize for that news story, because Vince Russo never really gave a fuck about professional wrestling. He never have, never would, okay? He was in it for the money. But I'll tell you one thing. Some of the things he did when he was in the WWE was very entertaining, okay? So, but he's only remembered for his negative things, making
well, that's because he keeps reminding us.
Yes.
Negative shit.
He does. He literally keeps making you remember the negative shit. And then that's the problem. Because how the fuck are you going to sit there and say, that he's like, bro, I don't need a check, bro. I don't need a check, bro. I just listen, I give my opinions. I don't need a check. I'm not looking for a job. I'm not lobbying for a job back in wrestling. Motherfucker, that's exactly what you're doing. Okay? That's exactly what you're doing. So, Eric Bischoff, kudos for you for saying what you said, but as we all say in the hood, no shit, Sherlock, because that wasn't a secret. All right, next. LA Knight has backstage heat. A lot of people are not liking, LA Knight. Yeah. Okay. A lot of people in the back are not liking LA Knight. However, Booker T says, as long as the boss is like you, you're good. Random thought.
Well, first things first was, as I said before, I wasn't completely sold on LA Knight, but I do remember after one of the premium live events when Papa H was talking, Triple H was talking, and he was talking about LA Knight not realizing that his time is now. And for somebody who had to scratch and claw for so long, he could have survivor's remorse. He'd been through a lot. So his attitude, he might not necessarily believe that how he is amongst his peers with people who are there, who might have been there for a long time, are now opening up their arms and receiving and accepting him. We don't know what the actual backstage bureaucracy is. However, I can see a lot of people who made it in WWE and in professional wrestling are not always known to be the best people. I mean, we've been spoiled with the John Cena's as of lately, and where people talk well about Roman Reigns with being a backstage general. Everyone doesn't need to be like that. We love Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's on almost everybody's Mount Rushmore. He has not always had the best attitude backstage. We love a lot of people who might not have a great attitude when it comes to how they are amongst their peers. Is it wonderful to try to make things move smoothly? Yes, as you have to work together and spend a lot of time on the road, but you don't need that. All you need to do, what Booker T really be saying? It's about signing checks and something. I forgot how he says it, but
some type of chicken food
He
statement.
says a lot. He says a lot. He says a
Yeah,
lot.
he says a
Like,
lot.
he does make
But-
sense sometimes.
Some statement
Yeah,
that
so
sets black people
that's
back
what it's
20
about.
years.
If the audience love him, if his merch is moving, if he's
Yeah.
out there entertaining the crowd, if he's the first one there and the last one to leave, whatever. Give him his nod. I'm not surprised though. I can see him being a jerk off. Yeah. Next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's you, Cam.
Yeah. I'm not sold on LA Knight either. I don't really like him. I'll give him props for this. He's finally got his boots and his ring gear matching. That's been a pet peeve of mine about him for a hot minute. I'm like, bro, why don't you wear the vest that matches your ring gear and your shoes matching your trunks? Like, why is your joint mix match? Like, it don't make no sense. You know what I mean?
Because he had an attitude with the seamstress, probably. That's why.
They're like, or you gonna go out with these boots that don't
She
match?
said, "Well, fuck you. I ain't finishing that."
Yeah,
You see,
exactly.
Sandra went over to
Finishing up the
AEW.
boots.
Fuck you, I ain't making the boots mad. Nope. Fucking Sasha Banks' husband, like, fuck you. I ain't finishing your boots. You going out there looking like that.
Exactly. Yeah, like you said, it doesn't surprise me that he's getting backstage heat. He doesn't really come off as a friendly or jovial kind of guy to like be all buddy with, but that's cool because there's a lot of wrestlers that have had mountains of success and wasn't really well liked outside of maybe their own little clique. You know what I mean? Brock Lesnar is a perfect example. He didn't get along with a lot of people. He admits that he's not a people person at all. But when he gets in front of the stage, when he comes up from behind that curtain, he turns on and he does what he got to do. You know what I mean? So I think
Hogan said that him and Brock Lesnar are best friends.
I bet they are. I bet them niggas are.
He said that.
I bet you. But I don't know how that's gonna work out because Brock Lesnar's real best friend is Shelton Benjamin. He's a fucking godfather to their kids. So right. I don't know how that works out with the whole nigga word. But I wonder how Thanksgiving is there. I'm trying to figure this whole thing out.
Hilarious.
Yo, I'm about to have a best friend.
What up, Big Daddy Sour Diesel? What's up, bruh? With your badge pro shots.
Good evening, gentlemen.
How are you?
Can I be heard?
Talking about LA Knight getting a bad rep backstage.
You know what? Here how I feel about that. I hate to hear those.
We're still talking about factions. That's what's up. Or Undertaker, somebody.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep. You don't hear the motorcycle? I'm the only one hearing it?
Nah, I heard it.
Okay.
It sounded like a Kawasaki though.
I hate when we hear these stories about who has heat or anything that goes on that take place backstage, right? We shouldn't be privy to what's happening backstage. Me as a wrestling fan, the casual or the hardcore wrestling fan, I don't give a fuck about what happened backstage. Just show me what you got in the ring. Show me the talents there. I'm not supposed to be privy to what goes on back there. So whatever goes on back there, keep it back there. But I do hope that this is not true. I will hope this to not be true. I mean, I feel like that's just coming from a place of jealous of other jealous talent that's in the back. LA Knight is one of those guys who quickly rise to the top. He's the cream of the crop, and the cream always rises to the top. And that's what he's doing. You know what I mean? That's just a story that's probably being.
Wait. Are you cutting a promo for LA Knight right now? Because
I think he paid him. I think
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look. 1 year ago, he was Maxwell Dupree. Right? Like Dupree. Like it was. I mean, it's pretty remarkable to see the turnaround. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm just not with it. I'm just not with it.
Well, let me say this. I don't know about the jealousy part. I hope that he's not a flash in the pan. I hope he's not. I hope he's not a flash in the pan.
You mean like a
And
Mr. Kennedy?
yes. I hope he's not a flash in the pan. And I just hope that it actually works, that it works itself out. Because as we learn, when the back don't like you, they'll figure out a way to get rid of you. Okay? They will figure out a way to get rid of you. Yeah. Okay. They will definitely figure out a way to get rid of you. All right. Because then the group burial happens. Because as much as we talked about John Cena has gotten rid of a lot of people out of the WWE. Okay.
Alex Riley,
Mr. Kennedy,
Mr. Kennedy. Mm-hmm.
amongst others. So if
I
they
thought
don't
Triple
like,
H did that. I thought Hunter Hearst Helmsley was the one that
but it started,
got rid
it
of
started with John not liking him. So,
okay.
and if the Golden Boy don't like him, then you out of here like last year. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Okay. Next on the list, this one I got 3 stories about this same guy. Okay, three different stories about this same guy. And y'all know who it is. God himself,
Vince
Vincent
McMahon.
Kennedy McMahon.
Oh
Okay?
boy, here we go. Another
I
hate
got
story by Mash Out.
It's not a hate story. It's not a fucking hate story.
So wait. Before
Alright.
we get started, is it 3 separate stories, or is
Yes.
it 3
So,
articles?
or is this the third story to the second story of the first story of the reason why you don't like Vincent Kennedy McMustache?
Let me tell you something, Regis and Kelly. All right, if y'all just shut up and let me do what I'm doing here. All right.
They haven't been together.
Okay. Anyway. All right. Story number 1. All right. Vince McMahon. This is a positive. This is putting money in his pocket. Okay. Vince McMahon sold 8.4 million of his shares back to TKO of the TKO stock. All right. The story, So I could run through the stories. Y'all want I could run
No,
through.
let us know because you're informing us.
All right. So he sold his stock. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, he squashed his beef with Dana White from the UFC, and he actually helped.
They were next to each other in pictures. That was okay.
Yes, and he helped put together the UFC event. All right, in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and number 3, TKO is saying that they might have to fire Vince McMahon for unprofessional conduct that he did last year in June 2022. So you guys pick which one.
But wait, before the acquisition?
Prior to the acquisition, correct.
So it's not like they didn't know, right? Like,
no, they said he was a risk factor in the TKO SEC filing. That's what they said.
Then sometime last week when they was going over what is it that you businessmen such like yourself do Mash Out when you got to go over the quarterly finals and all of that thing. So it was noted. They said some things about Vince that he is a risk factor and they can lose money beyond him. From all of the things that he has with the allegations thus far.
Okay. Yes. Any thoughts?
Well, basically, any of these outcomes could directly or indirectly have adverse financial and operational impact on the business. Is how they actually felt. That was the words that they used. And normally, when we all know, even whether you're at the top of the helm of knowing business or not, when higher ups and managements are having conversations like that, it's normally the next move is to you ship up or you ship out. And at this point, Mr. Kennedy McMahon, it's too late to ship up. So it might be a ship out situation.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion on that.
No. I think y'all really missing a big picture though. Y'all missing a big picture. I'm gonna tell you what it is that y'all missing. When the allegations happened, he had gray hair, and no facial hair. Okay, all right. This is a totally different man. All right, the jet black hair, the mustache. This is a totally different person. That's not even Vincent Kennedy McMahon. That's just Vince. Okay.
Maybe it's Mr. McMahon.
Mustache. Get it?
It's
McMahon.
Vince from Miami Vice.
McMahon.
That's your opinion?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what happened. That's what the thought process was. It's a totally different guy. Like,
all right, I just want to say they brought this man back to work this deal out. All right, that's why they brought him back, to work the deal out. You know, to make everything work, to bring in, Ari Emanuel and things like that. Now they're like, it's time to get the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, like when they said that they would never want to really run the company without Vince. I thought like that's a little BS-ish, right? Like they were just saying that just because the deal was just sealed and the deal was just done. But I'm like, eventually you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to run this company without Vince. So it's like, yeah, it's nice that to have him there to seal the deal and make the initial deal happen. But there's going to come a point in time where you're gonna have to move on without Vince anyway.
But we knew this was coming, right? We knew this was coming. Like there was no way that Vince McMahon would have been part of, the rest of the Endeavor act, right? We knew that this was coming. Like I think that they said what they had to say to make the stockholders be like, oh, okay, Vince is still there. All right, we could sleep easy at night. But I don't think they had any intention of keeping this man any much longer than he had to have been. I just think, with all due respect to Vince McMahon, I know that sounds funny coming from me.
I was about to say.
All due respect to Vinny, is
Vinny Mac.
It may be time for him to, pack it up. It's like time to
retire.
Yeah, I don't think he would retire because he doesn't seem that type of person. And and let me tell you something. Greenwich, Connecticut is really cold. Okay, to go home to nothing because Linda's probably getting dick down somewhere in Miami, Florida. So the fact
that you think she still gets moist. Come on now.
Yeah, man.
Look. She don't got to generate her own.
Second, somebody not pulling with Linda McMahon wig back. You got a next thing coming.
Hey, Lindy, you got that dyke slick back. Exactly. You got that power dyke slick back.
Linda ain't running for no more political office.
That's right.
right. You know I'm saying, Linda, get as much dick as you can. She's not running for no.
Oh no, he did not. Oh no, he didn't.
Okay. Live my life. It's out here paying. Okay. So
I want to know about Linda McMahon getting no dick.
I'm not telling you to sit there and have a visual now. I'm just saying at the same token, you think Linda McMahon got out there with some young tenderoni? That's what you think?
Tenderoni? Hold on.
She with a fucking Zac Efron, huh?
Exactly.
No, she's with Madcap Moss.
No, she needs some Efron in her system.
She saw them Riddle pictures. That's who she with. Oh, they fired you too? Come on over here. I saw you Riddle looking like a boy toy. That's who she with.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Just your boy toy.
I don't know.
You know what? Nah, she's probably gonna get herself a sexual chocolate.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me look like
Mark Henry.
If it ain't
oh
white,
wow, that would be ill. That would be crazy. But
and then give birth to a hand that you won't name Shane. Okay.
Needless to say, I don't think Vince McMahon is ever gonna be a guest on this show. But I think
why not, Vince? Come on in, come on down. There's nothing else to do.
He's a person who settles this disagreements often. So you never know. Never say never. That's their policy.
Never.
Yep.
Say
he forgave Warrior, and Warrior died the next day. Yep. Go ahead.
He forgave a lot of people.
It makes sense. If it makes dollars, it makes sense.
He forgave a lot of people. And my last, since we're doing a little extended turntable talk, the last thing is that a lot of people.
Turntable talk or turnbuckle?
Sorry, turnbuckle. Sorry. A lot of people are not happy in AEW that Ric Flair got a contract and signed a multi-year deal in AEW. Anybody?
I'm people. I wasn't happy either. I'm happy that a multi-deal year is about 2 years. Hopefully they find things for the man to do within those 2 years. And I can't. There's nothing else I can say about Nate. Like, you know, he was one of the greatest of all time, 16-time world champion. There was a plane ride from hell. He wanted people to go to Space Mountain. I don't know what they're gonna do with him in AEW. They don't know what to do with the youth talent that has lots of years ahead of them. So I don't know what they're gonna do with Ric Flair. It's like, okay, Tully Blanchard is not in here no more. Arn has hit the road. I guess let's roll the dice and use Ric Flair. I don't have an opinion on this, fellas. I'm sorry. Next person.
My opinion on this is just foul. It's just another play. This is just another play in Tony's book. And this is why I got smoke with you, Tony. This is why I can't fuck with you, Tony. This is why you'll never be my homie. That's word to baloney. And it has a first name. It's called bullshit. You're a bullshitter. Everything about you is bullshit. I don't like it.
Okay.
You're reverting back to sign it. Like, who's going to come to your programming? Like, I'm flipping. Oh, Ric Flair. I don't want to see no fucking Ric Flair. Woo! I can go to WWE and see his daughter. I'm good with that. We don't need Ric Flair there. If I was a talent in AEW, I would be mad too. Because, Tony, first and foremost, you're a fucking hypocrite, right? You know what the man done did. You done came at Vince about doing the same shit. And then you going behind this damn thing and you did the same shit. It doesn't make no sense to me whatsoever. Like, what is Ric Flair going to do for your company? Please let me know. What did Arn Anderson do? Please let me know.
He pulled out the Glock.
What did Tony Blanchard do? Please let me know.
Nothing.
What do any of these senior citizen ass wrestlers did for your company?
You don't. But you got. Are you blaming them or Tony? Because they could be used the right way.
I'm blaming Tony. This has nothing to do with them. This has nothing to do with them. I mean, get your check, get your bag, get your money. You got to do what you have to do. I understand that. But it goes to questions like, Tony, why do you do this? You got a whole bunch of talent back there that need to be used. And please let's not even talk about the release. Oh, I'm sorry. The recently released talent over the week from AEW. Enough said. I'm gonna talk about that in my smoking section.
Okay.
All right. Random thoughts. Oh, you already talked. You already said
went.
Yeah, it's on me. Yeah, so, I mean, I'll be honest. It depends on what the deal is. Like what you were saying, Mash. I'm not gonna lie, but like what you were saying, it depends on what he's doing. If he's backstage, chilling, giving advice, helping, making smart moves and whatnot, fine. But we all know Ric Flair. He's a camera whore, right? He's a glory hog, right? He wants to be on screen, right? He wants to be taking up TV time. He wants people saying his name. He wants to hear his music. He wants everybody going woo, right? And I think there was a clip or an article that said he doesn't mind dying in the ring. Nobody wants to see that but Ric Flair, right? So Tony Khan should never let him talk him into taking a bump or getting in the ring at all, right? Like, if he's gonna come out as a manager, let him come out as a manager, manage somebody or whatever. If he's gonna be on camera, but his role should strictly be just in the background. That's it.
I feel bamboozled.
I already know what Tony's gonna do. He's gonna line Jay Lethal up with Ric Flair, do the TNA thing again, reinvent that. That's what's gonna happen. It is.
I feel bamboozled. This was about Sting retiring and him getting a gift from Tony Khan, and the gift is Nature Boy Ric Flair, and now we ended up with a goddamn multi-deal. I feel bamboozled. I feel shamed.
You know.
Well, this
Where
isn't.
the hell is Clarence Mason? Where is Clarence Mason?
This is the reason.
It's a gift for everybody. The
reason why he signed the the multi-year deal with them was for the his energy drink that we spoke on this like 2 shows ago with Ric Flair, on the reason why AEW signed him was because of his stupid ass energy drink. I said energy drunk. The energy drink
is an energy drink.
Let me say this, right? Here's the thing. I don't know why we would sign him to a multi-year deal, because who knows if he'll be living in the next few years.
I didn't want to say that.
So I don't know. I didn't want to waste the money. I don't know about wasting the money. However, this is what I will say. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Right? Because here's the thing. You can't get any worse. Okay, you can't get any worse.
You could use the money to sign people like Jay Bougie, who we had on last week.
I get that.
Careers.
I get that, but you already understand. From the day they signed Jake the Snake Roberts, it did nothing with him. Did you think that they actually was going to use somebody in the right way? Let me tell you something. First of all,
you think that you're the champion for them?
Listen, they got Sting jumping off fucking tables. Okay, that Sting. I don't know why this was a good thing. I thought that his career was done after the buckle bomb, but after he healed up and he came back, your man's just jumping from the top of the rafter down onto the table. I just don't see this. But why the fuck not? You know what I'm saying? What? Because here's the thing. Tony thinks that these things are going to bring eyes to the product, and yet again, if I don't want to talk about the numbers on Dynamite for ratings and inside the arena, but it was abysmal. But Tony Khan also said in the interview, this is the best time for AEW. That's what he said. He said this is the best time for AEW.
Is AEW still in that new era thing that was supposed to happen, or did they forget about that?
I think
remember the new era.
They had to move on. It was they had to move on. Keep up, Sour Diesel. Keep up. They moved on from that.
Yeah.
But it never happened. That's why he can't keep up, because the new era never happened. That fitted never got put on. There was never a new era. All of his big cash cows that he could have did anything to turn around are starting to leave the company. So what he's doing is filling it up with old people and what he think when people want to have nostalgic moments when it comes to wrestling. That's what's happening. That's what we're witnessing.
Listen, here's the thing. The man knows what he's doing. Okay, the man sold out Wembley.
He was book of the year. You're
the
right.
man sold out Wembley Stadium. Okay, like 81.
About to do it again.
Huh?
And he's about to do it again.
And I can just see it now. The main event is Ric Flair versus Sting in the damn Wembley Stadium. I can just see it now.
Now you're definitely gonna get somebody dying in the ring. That's for sure. You're gonna get somebody dying in the ring. That's how you close out the pay-per-view forever. Okay.
That's Fight Forever. Fight
forever.
Trash. Like the last Nitro in Panama City.
Jesus wept and Mary cried. Take him back out. He's going to change his ring gear. He already texted me. He's changing his ring gear.
Got you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the match tonight?
Yeah. He defended his title. He said, I'm in my ring gear. I said, go change and then come back. But the people who's listening will understand who we're talking
He should have came in the ring gear.
Yeah,
it could have been like a post
segments and
it could have been like a post show. Like it could have been like a media scrum.
You want to see him in the ring gear? I know that's right, D.
The media scrum. We have to give the people what they want. People, is this what you want?
We was trying to do that, but
hold on. Wait a goddamn minute. I say, knock. Who is it? Oh, it's just my championship.
If he
I'm a
still has
champion,
it, we will
goddammit.
see.
I am a 10-time. 5 times 2.
Mm-hmm.
5 plus 5.
The math is mathing.
9 plus 1. 10 times.
Well, with
State
that
Park
being
champion.
said,
And
let's
don't you ever
light
forget
it
about
That's
up.
it for the Turnbuckle Talk.
With that
And don't
being
you ever
said,
forget
let's
about
light it up and take a puff. Let's open up the smoking section. Sour Diesel,
Because
the amazing.
I done went from park to park to park to park, and I done put my size 15 up someone's ass. You ever been power bombed off the monkey bars?
The answer
Have
is yes
you?
for me. The answer is yes for me.
I have not.
Have you ever did a hurricanrana off top of the house
Slide.
thing, the house roof
The house roof,
of the sliding board?
the slide.
You ever took a bump on the sliding board? You ever did that?
I haven't. I got a bad back. Oh,
Let me tell you something, kid. You ever got speared into a handball court wall?
Mm.
I don't.
You live to tell that story.
That one I don't. I can't really. I hope. You know,
done
I
it.
don't know if there was an insurance package for the New York State champion. Well, I don't know if there was that, because that one could kill you.
It wasn't sanctioned. It wasn't a sanctioned match.
you want to fight forever with Ric Flair?
We're talking
Die in the
about
park, nigga.
a cemented wall.
Mm.
You ever did a elbow drop from off the backboard of a rim? I have. I've done
What
it.
about the seesaw? Tell him about the seesaw.
You ever did a seesaw plunger?
What?
Seesaw plunger. I did it.
Did you run up one side and then drop down and you jumped off?
That was
Listen,
me. So look out, Jeff Hardy. Look out, Darby Allin. Because here I come.
Oh,
Or here I came already.
With the bad knees.
You got knee braces.
Now,
2 knee braces like Stone Cold.
now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there, I need you to spark a blunt for me. Because my stupid fucking weed man, he wasn't around to take my call.
You didn't just go to the corner
You
store.
got a weed one? Right. You can go to the store,
Well,
bro.
I probably go to the weed store, so I had to get here for this show. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
You can grow it.
boys and girls, I ain't gonna say children of all ages because I'm no R. Kelly. Okay, but
Thank God.
so we're gonna get to the smoking session, whatever you want. We can have a session. Come on over here. Pull up a chair. So the thing I want to get into is we done seen, or if you haven't seen on past SmackDown, we seen the evolution, if you will, a little add-on to the damage control, right? So we have the leader in Bailey, we have Io, you have Dakota Kai, and now we have returning Kairi Sane, right? We now have that. And a bit of surprise that happened later on that night. So there was a match between it was Asuka, Charlotte, and Bianca versus Damage Control of Io Sky, Kairi Sane, and Bailey. And we had a turn. Okay? We had a heel turn in here, ladies and gentlemen. Finally something that made sense for her character, Asuka. Asuka turned heel.
Asuka not heel already?
We like when Asuka came back, did her whole
to fight damage control.
when she did that whole thing with the what was her character over in Japan? What was that character that she had?
Kana.
So when she reinvented herself as Kana in WWE, I don't feel like it was the look that we wanted to see, and I'm quite sure it wasn't the look that WWE wanted to see, because she didn't really feel heel. She just feel that's Asuka, different makeup. That's it, with a different attitude. But anyway, Asuka's is possibly now the new member of Damage Control, right? But here's a problem that I have, and I got some smoke for that ass. Bailey. This must mean that they're going to turn Bailey face. And that is something that I am not ready for. I am not ready for it, god damn it. She's good heel. It breaks my heart. We won't hear you stupid idiot. Michael Cole, shut up. We won't hear no more of those type of things. So what is your guys' take on this? Like, because I don't like it.
Well, first things first. I seen it. I said it when y'all Broadwayed me last week when I said all the Asian chicks is gonna get together. I said it. I already said they was gonna form like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I ain't gonna lie.
The Mastodon, Saber-Tooth Tiger, Tyrannosaurus, they're all gonna form together like the VR Troopers and the Pilot Angels, and they all gonna be together. And that's why the sisters is gonna have to get together.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they throw in Charlotte. You know, she tan. She might look like a sister a little bit.
What?
You know, whatever.
Charlotte is not racially ambiguous. She is white. She is white.
For War Games. Bailey, I think this is the perfect time not for you to be a face, although SmackDown really needs faces, women faces right now. I don't think this is a time for you to be a face, but this would be a perfect time for you to be that anti-hero and be that person by yourself and still give us good Bailey commentary and good Bailey, reverbiage, and don't be a part of no group. Don't pick a side. Kind of be on your own path and submit and solidify yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to add on, right? Because during that segment, when Kyrie Sane, they had played a clip back from the last time Kyrie Sane and Bailey had a little moment, if you will, exit out of WWE for Kyrie Sane by Bailey. They stole that, they revisit that clip, but Kyrie Sane says that she forgives Bailey and try to give her the hug, and Bailey was looking at her like, I don't do that anymore. I just thought that was funny. Like, I don't hug no more, bitch. You ain't been away from that long. I ain't give a hug to your ass when I kicked you out. So don't give me one now. Hey, Mash out. You got any rebuttals?
Yeah. Listen, I'm not ready for Bailey to turn face neither. I'm not. But I will say this. This has been a long heel run for her. It's been a long ass heel run. So I will give her credit for that. She held it down. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, it was very boring, but, she definitely held it down. It's a long heel run, and she needs to take some wins now. Yeah. It's time for her to get some wins because, this woman done got her ass whooped so many times, beat the shit out of so many times, and that's a lot of ass, by the way. So a lot of, so many times this woman has been dragged and beat the daylights out of. So it's time for her to have a face turn.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So like when all five of them were standing up there, I was like, they all look all look racially ambiguous to me. Like they all kind of look alike now. Like,
oh, you talking about the Damage Control?
Yeah, when they close with that closing shot and they panned all five of them, I was like, oh, they kind of blend together now. Right?
I actually a part of me likes this because this is like probably like the biggest women faction that we've seen.
It's Kai and Ty.
What?
Broadway. I'm joking.
This is the biggest women faction that we have going on right now. And also, I like to tip my hat again to WWE because they are working their asses off by pushing the women talent forward, right?
Right.
And so what's probably coming up next between these set of women will be the War Games. I don't think Dakota Kai is cleared yet to be in that match. So I'm thinking who they might add onto that team for damage control. See, I already have in mind who they would have for with Bianca, Charlotte, who else? Shotzi. They're saying they might bring Becky down, put Becky on SmackDown. So Becky might be involved in that. I don't want to see that. But I'm thinking, my guess, Mia Yim. Think they might put Mia
I
Yim in that.
wouldn't trust Shotzi Blackheart and Mia Yim.
Oh,
If
you know
I was
what?
them,
Broadway plays are good for me.
I wouldn't trust them. Shotzi
Nah.
and Mia Yim, I would say y'all have that little connection,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't trust it. What I would trust in is that B-Fab has been in the training facility. I would
as the good person on the shirt would say,
Jade Cargill, I would trust. Let me tell you.
Why you gotta be starting something?
I would trust. These are the people I would trust. Because there's a lot of people stabbing each
Gotta
other
be
in the
starting
face.
something.
That's who I would trust. I wouldn't trust that Mia Yim, Me Chin.
Me Chin.
I did, and I wouldn't
It's the
trust
stupidest name I've ever heard. Me
her
Chin.
hatred for Bailey is so deep. I wouldn't trust.
I want to go.
I know that's
I want to
right.
get into my Nets. I want to get into this Nets. Hey, I'm gonna pass this blunt to you real quick. You know, got hit. It's a cipher. So pass that back. All right, come back to me. All right. Totes blunt. Exhales. So, to piggyback off of the conversation that we were having earlier on about AEW and Tony Khan and his decisions, I was talking earlier on about some released superstars, and I never thought that I'll see the Triple B leave WWE. I mean, oops, sorry, my bad. The Triple B leave AEW. Oh no, I'm not talking about MJF's title. I'm talking about the talent of Butcher, Blade, and
The
Bunny. They were released from AEW this past week. They did not re-sign their deals. Yeah, they did resign their deals. So AEW and these talents just decided to part ways. Now, my thing is, at a time like this, you don't want to release any stars, no talent, would you?
Them ain't the stars.
Listen, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. They wasn't even a star. And people said that about Brian Pillman Jr. He wasn't a star, but his ass got released from AEW. He went to WWE, and he's about to shoot up. Okay? Okay. And I don't mean ropa-dopa. Okay? So, I don't think it's a perfect time for AEW and Tony Khan to be releasing stars.
You just said the other week.
Listen, we have TNA coming back in January. You have NWA on the no, that deal done fell through because they want to sniff coke on television. Tony Khan, if you're interested, I hear they're hiring. Go sniff coke. So, and then you got WWE that's doing their goddamn thing right now. So right now it's not the time for you to be releasing stars. Like, you just signed Ric Flair to a multi-year contract, and then you have 3 people released. And I'm quite sure about in coming weeks it'll be some more. So what do you guys, what is your thoughts on that? Here, I'll pass the blunt. I'm going to pass the blunt to Cameron. Here. That's hell.
I really honestly could care less. I mean, if they pop up in WWE, it'll probably be on NXT. You know, I will give them this. They are great workers in the ring. I'll give that to them. As far as, you know, pushing a show or putting butts in the seats, I don't think that's where they're at right now in their career. They are great workers. They did get in phenomenal shape. I'll give them their credit. They do work hard. Watching a Butcher and Blade match is entertaining. But I don't really see, they're not needle movers. So if they do pop up somewhere, they'll probably get a good rebranding, and we never know. Wrestling always surprises people. So
I don't think I can ever consider them or even put that in a sentence with them next to their name, needle movers. I don't even think people get that from them. So I don't even think they will ever qualify for that. And I don't mean to play a part in age, because we all have birthdays. Mine's is coming up in 2 weeks. I'm a Sagittarius.
you about to be an ageist? You about to be an ageist?
Butcher and Blade, they look old as fuck. They are old. Okay?
Maybe they'll get some of the Rogaine and the color. They'll get a different look. They'll look like a sharpened blade.
I mean, no, look. I mean, honestly, LA Knight is an old wrestler.
Listen, let me just say this. There's a new faction that AEW starting, and it's called "Who Gives a Fuck About These People" faction, because
who gives a fuck about these people faction?
And unfortunately, the Butcher Blade, they joined it. Soon, there's gonna be a few more people a part of that. Jake the Snake Roberts and Gold.
He could be the mouthpiece. Okay.
Yes. They're all the Who Gives a Fuck About Them faction. And really and truly, they might as well help Craft Foods bring the food in, because that's the only time that they're going to be entertaining.
With all that beard and stuff, that's
but they got something.
They got the beard nets. You could put
it's a beard net. Yeah, you put and cover that up.
Lightning bulb. I can see them come to WWE, right? Just listen. Listen to me. I can see them possibly because when he goes back heel and turn his back on you know who and do the thing that he needs to do. Tommaso Ciampa, he has a look. He has a look. Because you know what? I'm sorry to say this. These white guys be looking. They look old, but they probably young. You know what I'm saying? So I can see them three guys becoming on some type of Hills Have Eyes type of vibe. You know what I mean? I can see them
bald and bearded. That's what they could call themselves. Right.
They pull up in a pickup truck, drunk, smell like a bunch of moonshine.
What? Is this the 90s? The late 80s again?
This is
the Bushwhackers coming.
Also some HeyStackz.
Calhoun? Is he even still alive?
Who the hell is Calhoun?
Oh, I thought you meant the wrestler HeyStackz Calhoun.
No, he mean actual HeyStackz.
Whoa!
With the needle in it.
Time out. Let me put this blunt out real quick. I'm gonna light this. I'm gonna light it back. Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that?
He was an 80s wrestler.
You sure from
He had a rivalry with Blackjack Mulligan.
You're right. No, you're right.
You be going down to them barn wrestlings.
You absolutely. That's actually true. He was partners with Blackjack Mulligan.
I knew that stupid shit.
That is crazy. HeyStackz.
I thought he. I was like, that's what I said. Hey, I don't. Is he still alive?
No.
Crazy.
No, that's the name of this episode. HeyStackz Calhoun. Just like that. Moving on. Hold on, let me spark this blunt. Spark this blunt back quick. Yeah. That's how.
The character work is so real. It's
so Raw and NXT. So we finally find a place that they're going to be moving to.
We don't have much time left, right? So I understand the vignette.
Raw moving to FX, and NXT is moving to the CW network. What do you feel about that? I
I don't know.
some smoke for them. Because
Is the
I'm
Raw
not watching no fucking NXT on no CW Channel 11 that used to be WB11, that used to be WPIX, that used to be some other shit.
Well, it's
It's too
still
much.
WPIX. It's still that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'm saying, so is it official though for the Raw going to FX? I didn't know. I don't know. Is that official? I don't know about that one.
It was said to be official.
So wait, that's confusing because isn't FX under Fox? So they kept the Fox deal for Raw and got rid of the Fox deal for SmackDown?
They did a swap. They did a swippy swap. It's a
I
draft.
don't know.
They did a
But
draft.
all I know is them
Fox
coming to
drafted
FX.
Raw,
That
and
means
USA drafted SmackDown.
that all that means to me, if they're on FX, is that they can change their TV audience. Hopefully.
But that's like when they were on TNA/Spike TV, right? You know, it did
You mean
it
TNN?
really did TNN, excuse me. Did it really change the demographic? Did it bring more eyes to the product?
I think more so it's something to benefit Fox because Fox is probably trying to grow. They trying to grow their sports leg. You know what I mean? This whole because ESPN is kicking their butt. You know what I mean? They're trying to compete with ESPN. Oh, sorry, you said FX, not FX1?
No, I said FX.
You mean FS1?
Oh, not FX1.
It's all Fox.
Not FX1. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess FX is kind of struggling, and maybe they think that they do have a different kind of audience. It's more on par with like TNT because they like to do a lot of their own dramas, but they also do a lot of reruns on that channel of like movies and whatnot. So I don't know.
What do you mean? FX had Snowfall. It had Atlanta.
You know what I'm
It had
saying?
American Horror Story.
They got their own originals. I said, but they also do a lot of the movies. I mean, I don't know what's falling apart with the USA thing. I mean, they already on Peacock. You think they already tucked under the Universal network. So maybe there's a TKO.
So, I'm very confused because I thought that Raw wasn't going to leave NBC Universal. So this is the first time I'm hearing this. Is this something that's official? I don't.
So let's just put this in a rumor. Let's just have this as a rumor.
Okay.
So to not confuse anyone out there and my fellow colleague, we just want to leave this as a rumor, and in coming weeks we'll get back to it and we'll report it back to you guys. How does that sound?
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
Okay.
Definitely.
So I'm about to put this blunt out because I think we're done.
You got
The
one more?
imaginary blood's going out.
Yeah, I got one more. Let me rewrite this blunt. So WWE and NJPW might be working on a relationship together.
Okay.
And that is only to get Will Ospreay. So they're supposedly trying to work together. So hopefully WWE can get Will Ospreay into the Royal Rumble, and that he could be a Royal Rumble entrant. And his contract is coming to an end with NJPW in February. So this can be,
Gotcha.
I like to say this could be like an interview.
Okay.
Nice.
And I mean, even if that's true, it's good to see that WWE is willing to, work with another wrestling promotion.
I mean, they do it on certain levels. I don't think they do it on major company levels, but definitely on certain levels, they actually work with other companies. And I think
they're not gonna go as far as like for Forbidden Door cross promo, but they'll like exchange talents and stuff like that.
They've done it in the past. They did it during the Attitude Era when we saw all of the little minis come over. When we saw that the Asian people come over. They did it with ECW eventually. So they have a history of actually collaborating with other promotions and having crossovers for the sake of course, them benefiting the most out of it. So WWE would benefit the most if we do get a Will Ospreay and a Royal Rumble entry, and just that pop from the crowd and the buzz it would create. I think it's definitely a dope move. That's what I
and low key they can thank AEW because they really introduced a lot of Will Ospreay to the American market, and that makes we'll see it.
I mean, if you want to say that, but okay,
it's the truth.
we're thumbs up because we are ready to lift off. Right, we're lifting off.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the smoking section. Okay.
He put the blunt out. Thank you very, 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 very much. Yes, you can get ready to add the guests in. We're going to right now take it to the 1, 2, 3 count. And what is the 3 count, ladies and gentlemen? The 3 count is a segment where we get to know members from the world of professional wrestling just a little bit better. Now, guest tonight, right? He's the final boss. He's player 1. He's the controller. He's 6'1", weighing in at 207 pounds. I weigh more than this man, but that's all right. He's Mr. Melanin Magic. He has high energy always. Not to be confused with a robot in disguise. Tap in. Hopefully, he is still currently DFW All-Pro Wrestling Champion. He's our guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He is Exodus Prime. Oh, he came on right on point. That was crazy.
I had my headphones in, man.
That was good timing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry about that, y'all.
It's all right. It was high noon and high tension, fresh out of the ring, defending the DFW All-Pro Championship against Chandler Hopkins. How did that work out for you?
I actually got a little switched up. Chandler actually suffered an injury last night, so we had to get a replacement. So I ended up going 1-on-1 with Chris Carter.
Oh, with Chris Carter. How did it happen already or?
Oh yeah, man. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm sitting in my car now. I'm back and forth within the venue. I literally just got done maybe 10 to 15 minutes ago.
How was the match?
Oh, the match was great, right? But like I say, man, for whatever reason, I always get this East Coast time. It always fucked me up, bro. Like, because like I look, it said 9 o'clock Eastern time. I'm like, all right, bed 9 o'clock, right? But that's 8 o'clock for me. So, by the time I really just noticed that shit, like my ass my music was hidden, and I was sending you guys a message to let you know that my show went kind of late, and that I might have to like come catch you at the end of the show, but I guess kind of worked out anyway.
All right. So if you got some time for us, we want to ask you some questions so that our viewers, your audience, can get to know you a little bit more. I'm not sure if you saw the last interview in which that we did with Jay Bougie, but this is the first question I asked him, and I think it's something that's important overall for independent wrestlers and professional wrestlers as a whole. I want to be able to ask you, who is Exodus Prime and what does he bring to the world of professional wrestling? If you can answer that for us.
Man, that's actually a good question. Bro, like Exodus Prime, man, like I try to be as honest as I can, man. Exodus Prime is really just that person that I can't be in the real world. Like it's those things that we want to say, those things that we want to do, but we gotta be civil, we gotta be respectful, we can't burn bridges. So in wrestling, shoot, I can say whatever's on my mind for the most part, and it's okay. And it just depends on how I say it. Either you're gonna get a good reaction, you're gonna get a bad reaction. You know what I mean? But Exodus Prime is just my alter ego. He's a badass final boss. Like he studies. He's a cheat code. You know what I'm saying? That's who Exodus Prime is.
Okay, I hear an accent, and you said the times were off from our Eastern time. Where are you originally from?
I'm in Dallas. Dallas 6. Yes, sir.
Born and raised there?
Oh yeah, born and raised in Oak Cliff.
Okay. Is that the hood?
Oh yeah, that's the hood, man.
Okay, so you're a hood, so you was supposed to be an anomaly. You wasn't really supposed to make it out of the hood, and you found professional wrestling. Talk to me, talk to us a little bit about when did you first know you wanted to break into this business? Like, what age were you? Who were you trained by? Take us through your first day walking through the doors of DFW.
Oh yes, sir. So it's actually kind of a funny story, simply because when I was in college, I thought about being a wrestler when I was about 18, 19 years old. I thought about being a wrestler, and I was looking up schools constantly, and the only school that would pop up in my area was Killer Tim Brooks. I don't know if y'all remember him, but rest in peace to Killer Tim Brooks. But he's like a Six legend. He used to do a lot of stuff with NWA. But back then, I didn't know that. So it wasn't until um, that was what 2021. I ended up meeting my ex-wife, and then I just kind of let life take over. And so, yeah, I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. Continue.
I'm sorry. It must have been an echo. Okay, but yeah, I kind of let my life take over. Let life take over. I met my wife, fell in love. Met my ex-wife, fell in love, and I just kind of like, took on the responsibilities of being the man in the house and being a husband and being a father and things like that. And over the years, I would constantly message different promotions and different wrestlers that was in the area, trying to gauge, which school I wanted to go to. The only reason I started DFW All Pro Wrestling is simply because it was the closest school to me. And when I turned 27, I told myself if I wasn't able to lose 20 pounds in like 3 to 6 months, then I couldn't commit to wrestling. Um, and I ended up losing 50 pounds in 2 months. And so they gave me the motivation to finally shoot for my dreams, to go ahead and try DFW and literally move about 15 minutes from where I live. And if I'm being honest, what really sold me on the promotion was that the owner and trainer and promoter of the was black. So that was sold me on the school, if I'm being honest. And then from there was history.
What so now being from the hood, right? How is it
Yes, sir.
how are you received amongst your peers right now? And I'm talking about the people, from the hood that when they found out you became a professional wrestler.
Oh man, they're very supportive, man. Like, you're gonna always have people who's gonna hate, especially when it comes to professional wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, you always gonna have a certain demographic of people who's gonna crap on wrestling, regardless if you make it or not. But it was at one point I have some wrestling gear that's made in the design of my alma mater, and it was one photo that that kind of got shared around throughout like a lot of people from Oak Cliff. And it was real supportive, sharing it, reaching out to me and being supportive. So I think it's one of those things to where a lot of people expect us to either run the streets or play sports. You know what I mean? So and when I say sports, I mean basketball or football. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. It's not really wrestling or any of the other sports. So when it's just one of those things, they see me doing it and they support it because they like it gives more, inner city black children an outlet. You know what I mean?
Okay. What do you like more? Being heel or face?
I love being a heel, man. 'Cause like I say, Exodus Prime is that alter ego, the asshole version of me that says the things that can't be said. You know what I mean? That I do things that can't be done. So I love being a heel, telling people how it is.
Okay.
You mentioned Exodus Prime. How did you even come up with that name? Being like
Oh
from the hood and stuff, and that being an
I was
alter
wondering the
ego.
same thing.
How did you
man,
come up with that name?
everybody from the hood are low key nerds. You know what I'm saying. So it actually came from Yu-Gi-Oh, because I grew up watching like stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon and things like that. And so I want to mold my career out of that card Exodius. It had the 5 part. So at
Yep.
first it was gonna be Exodius Prime, Simply because Exodius is like over my career, I was gonna collect these pieces, like finishing training, winning the championship, getting my body in shape, getting the contract, making it and winning the championship. There's gonna be 5 different stages that's gonna create the 5 different pieces of Exodius, right? Similar to Yu-Gi-Oh. And Prime just simply came from since I started training towards the latter end of my of 27, and I didn't debut until I was 28. I felt like I was going to be at my best shortly. Like I was going to be in my prime pretty soon. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So that's pretty much where those two names came from. And before I started training, these guys just told me that Exodius probably was a little bit too long to pronounce. And so they just told me to kind of just shorten it, and then it just became Exodus Prime.
Okay.
Gotcha, yeah.
Okay. Well,
So played
Mash
over
Out,
the Exodia from Yu-Gi-Oh. I liked it.
Yes, sir.
that was dope. Mash Out asked you, did you like being a heel or a face? But I want to piggyback a little bit on that because whether or not you are a heel or a face, you have this innate energy that gets the crowd behind you. Where does that
Yes,
energy
sir.
come from? Where do you draw the
Man,
inspiration from?
like I've always been a creative man. Like I said, at least since I was about a teenager, I wanted to be a Power Ranger when I grew up. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been
Hopefully,
an
the black
imagine.
one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been like an imaginary. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always wrote poetry, write music, I write short stories, I write video game guides and things like that. So I've always been into things like that. Um, so the energy just comes from I've always been a class clown. I've always been goofy. So I literally just take the person that I am. Um, I like having eyes on me, so I just take the person that I am and blow it up. Blow it up in a ring. Pretty much how I am in a ring as far as when it comes to that charisma. Is usually how I am around my family and my friends.
Okay. Okay. You
I think he froze.
froze?
I think
Yeah,
he
he definitely
froze.
froze.
All right. For those of you listening, he froze. He did say he was from the
There you
hood.
go.
Oh, he's back.
Oh my
That's
bad.
froze.
My my bad. I just my bad. I just pulled up to my apartment, so it was connected to my Wi-Fi.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Um,
I thought you was in the hood ducking bullets. I wasn't sure. I was making sure you was all right, Exodus.
yeah, no, I'm good, man. But yeah, so that's where pretty much where all the energy come from, dog. Like, it's just how I am, man. Like, I'm anybody that knows me, they know I'm goofy, I'm animated, and I just take that and put it into my character.
All right. So you
It's
talked
like
about being a creative and being into like writing and short stories. If you right now wrote an autobiography about your life, what would the title of that book be? Just off the top of your dome.
The life and times of Exodus Prime.
Okay, that's simple. That rhymes. All right, nothing wrong with that.
It
I
rhymes.
have a
It
question.
rhymes.
And it rhymes with Exodus
right.
Prime.
It
All right.
sells. It's
There
gonna
you
sell.
go.
It's gonna
So
I
sell.
have a
you're a man
question
of
for you, Exodus.
like an Afro Latino descent, correct?
I'm sorry.
I said, are you a man of an Afro Latino descent?
No, no. Why you ask that?
I'm just particularly wondering because that's normally a lot of the communities down in like that part of the Texas is always like kind of a mixed community. But how important is like how you are as a person, like as a black wrestler, like how important is representation and what does it mean to you?
Oh man, representation is very important, man. Like in training, being trained, having a black trainer, black mentor. He's already warned me that like you have to work twice as hard for everything that you're gonna have to do, and you have to watch your tongue and hold your tongue twice as much. So um, I try to I try to always be professional as I can in the wrestling world, you know what I mean? Because wrestling is already chaotic.
Right.
So, and sometimes, especially on social media, it's a fine line between, a shoot and a work, what could come up as professional, unprofessional. So I always try to like let people know that everything that I do with Exodus Prime is a character. Even the things that blends the lines of real and fake, it's all in the character or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I try to represent that character so people can separate Exodus Prime, the wrestler, from Miguel Starks, the man. So they can blame it on, being black. Because I'm going to represent, you know, where I come from. I'm going to always want to show my children, my family, and even my peers that I grew up with and their children. That like we come from a place where people already think that we only have one or two or maybe three choices, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so we can come from the hood. We can survive that. We can be just as intelligent. If we want to be a tennis player, a doctor, a lawyer, a wrestler, an actor, a musician, whatever we want to be, we can be that. We just have to take the right channels and get under the right people.
Okay.
All
D,
right,
you
I
have,
like
I
that.
have
Good
a
inspiration.
question for you.
Yes,
What
sir.
was like what was the what was the major lesson you learned since joining the wrestling business?
Holding my tongue, man. It's like I say, I'm from the hood, and I always said if I probably would have started this business in my early 20s, I would have been out within my first couple years. Either I would have quit, or I probably would have been counseled or whatever, because I come from a different world than like a lot of the people in wrestling come from. So, the biggest lesson I learned is that just because it's on my mind, or just because it's my opinion, and just because I have a right to an opinion, doesn't mean it needs to be expressed, right?
Mm.
So,
that's
that's just
wisdom.
pretty like what that's the biggest lesson, honestly.
That's wisdom right there because
The
Well,
wisdom and
a
you
maturity.
can actually
lucky
follow
thing
that
you
up.
didn't come up like wrestling in 2019 era because you definitely would have been canceled there because
I
they were
mean,
just
that was
canceling everybody.
yeah, that was my infancy. Like I said, I started training in late 2017. I had my first match 2018. So like honestly, when people started getting canceled, that's when I started to thrive, because when people got canceled, when people got scared of COVID, I was like, well, I'm not a piece of shit, and I'm not scared of getting sick. So let's do this or whatever. And so I really just started taking a lot of people's spots, honestly.
I just
Right,
want to
if the opportunity was there, I
I
couldn't blame you for taking it.
Yes, sir.
want to ask another question. So being in Texas, right?
Mhm.
Texas is a big wrestling state. Like huge. It's just the lineage of everybody that is Texas wrestlers, right? What does that
Yes,
mean
sir.
to you? What do you add into that? What do you add into that lineage of Texas wrestling? I mean, from Booker T to
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold,
Stone
Von
Cold.
Erich, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get
So Texas,
it.
what I'm saying? That's a big state, and that's a big
And
shoes for you
yeah,
to fill. So what exactly are you're adding to? How you adding to that lineage?
Man, like the funny thing is, man, and I didn't realize this until I actually became a wrestler. But when I grew up, I wasn't a wrestling fan. I was a WWE fan, right? When I say that, I didn't know about the Indies. I didn't know about Texas wrestling. Like, if it wasn't WWE and WWE didn't talk about it, other than TNA or maybe WCW and ECW, and literally because a lot of people come from those places or went to those places with the Monday Night Wars and stuff like that. Um, that's the only reason I knew about those things. But like Ring of Honor, New Japan, like I didn't learn about none of this stuff till I was in my late 20s,
Mm,
early
Mm.
30s. So when I do realize not only how deep independent wrestling is in Texas, but not only like the long lineage of wrestlers that are from Texas and currently reside in Texas, past and present, and that a lot of peers and fans put me up in a league with a lot of them. It's a thing that I hold very dear. You know what I mean? Especially because I had my goal when I became a wrestler was just to have a match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't. I didn't expect to be good. I didn't really expect to understand it. I was just like, I just want to try it and say I
Mm-hmm.
did it, and then I get out and be done. You know what I mean? And literally since day one, like that mentality has constantly been flipped. So like I say, it's still surreal to this day that not only the opportunities that I've gotten to, work with WWE, Impact, or going on to TNA now again, AEW, to meet a lot of people who I grew up like idolizing and watching, to share locker room as peers, and then not only that, but for them to give me feedback, to validate the things that other people has told me that I still haven't believed You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's a thing that I hold very dear. And I'm born and raised in Texas. Like I didn't move here to Texas. I didn't, I never moved away from Texas and came back. Like I've been in Texas for 33 years. So this is my home.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
Dope.
Who's the biggest star that you've met?
man, I guess it's subjective, right? Because I've been them all. Like being backstage at AEW, I met me AEW, but WWE AEW, I met all of them from John Cena to Triple H, Seth Rollins, like everybody. Jay Cargill, MJF, all great people, all nice people. So like I say, like I've met them all, but honestly, the biggest culture shocks to me was meeting people like Mark Henry, Big Show, Chris Jericho, because these are people that I can remember seeing like being 5, 6, 7 years old and only seeing them on the screen, and then not only to meet them because before I started wrestling, I only been to like maybe 2 or 3 wrestling shows.
Mm.
It was always on TV. And maybe that comes to the American Airlines Center, and I maybe can give me a $20 ticket. But other
Yo,
than that,
You screw
other
them in the
story,
light
than
bulbs,
that,
baby.
yes,
story.
man. I'm in a nosebleed, still watching it on TV, right? But
Yeah.
but so yeah, so I've never did meet and greets or anything like that. So me meeting these people for the first time and seeing them up close, I was meeting them as peers and not just
Mm.
a fan. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Which made it even more surreal for me. So it's great.
Who gave you the best
Okay.
advice?
Oh man, that's kind of hard, man. If I can say like it's three things I remember off the top. One I remember within my first year, I did a class with a seminar with Chavo Guerrero, and he gave me some excellent advice that pretty much flipped and took away any nervousness that I had about performing. Um, Alex Hammerstone, I did a seminar with him, and he just gave me a lot of insight about independent wrestling that kind of changed how I navigate independent wrestling. And then actually just recently, doing extra work at WWE, William Regal actually came and talked to us for a whole hour just out of nowhere, and
Oh,
just
Dude,
dropped.
I didn't even know he was officially back. So
Yeah,
that's a
he's been
Oh
backstage. Remember, he can't be on camera.
Right.
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 yeah, yeah, man. I hope I didn't get in trouble for that, but because
Ah,
nah, you good, you good.
I don't follow it. Like I said, I don't really follow it like that, and like they don't give me any directives like this. So I don't know if I'm. But like I said, he was backstage and he just dropped some gems on us or whatever. So there was
Mm.
also so it was pretty much those the three instances where I feel like I received a lot of the and also hold on. Gabe Sapolsky also dropped some gems on me or whatever. So
Okay.
it's pretty much those 4 people that pretty much helps me navigate this in a professional business way versus navigating it like a wrestler, if that makes sense.
So,
Mm.
so you've been across the span of different promotions, and you mentioned a lot of names just now, and gaining a lot of experiences. Talk to me, past, present, and future. Name 3 wrestlers you love to wrestle in a dream match.
Man, off the rip, it'll be damn. Hold on. Can I do 5?
Oh,
yeah.
sure,
Yeah. Go
sure.
for it.
I give
It's
you
not
my
the Three Amigos show. It's 5. Go ahead.
baby. I already three there. I
No, go
just did
ahead.
my
Give me
Give
top
us
five.
three.
the five. Give us the five.
I'll give you 5. All right. So first off, because my favorite wrestler of all time is Randy Orton. So Randy Orton's number 1. Number 2 is AJ Styles. Um, number 3 is Will Ospreay. Number 4 is Zack Sabre Jr. And number 5, John Cena. Just because you got to have the John Cena match. You know what
He
I
makes every fucking list. Everybody list. He makes it. Whether we're talking a Mount Rushmore or Dream Match, he makes every list. So that
No,
is a testament
I want to
to
see him in a match against Will Ospreay and Zach
Zack
Xavier
Sabre
Jr.
Jr. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want
yes,
to see
sir.
that too.
What?
Triple threat match. That's right. I want to see that too.
Y'all give me too much
What?
credit, man.
I
Nah,
mean, you
Appreciate
never
that,
too
working
man.
on
much,
it. We
bro.
can see
Never
it
too much. You
happening.
got to
The
see it.
things
Listen,
that we
man.
speak to goes right to God's ears, and it end up happening. That's just what I'm gonna say here. I got
Dave
a
Meltzer gonna
question.
give y'all a 100-star match.
I got a
A
I
hundred
got a
stuff.
question for you. If you weren't a professional wrestler, you did say you could do a lot of different things. what the hell would you be?
Man, it'd be one of two things because literally right before I decided to become a professional wrestler, I just finished performing music. I just finished performing a couple of songs from an album I was working on, and I was after the performance, I was literally sitting in the car and I was like, I want to be a professional wrestler. So honestly, it'd be music or something with programming. But right now, I'm also a personal trainer, so one of those three things: music, music, programming, or personal training.
Hmm. I have a couple questions for you. Um, First off, like I just appreciate you taking the time and just showing your magic with us. I noticed like part of your character, you changed your eye colors, right? I was trying to. I want you to share with us like what is it that helped you build your character's elements, right, and make you who you are today. What will help make or shape Exodus Prime?
I've always tried to take inspirations from like everything that inspires me, right? Like mainly from action movies, video games, cartoons and things like that. So it all goes back to like I look at wrestling like an RPG, right? Every time I learn something new in training, there's me leveling up or learning a new skill. Every time I go to the gym and I improve in the gym, I'm leveling up. Every time I work a better opponent, that's more experience I've gained, I leveled up. And so since I'm doing this player one final boss controller character,
Mm-hmm.
um, I take story elements because I work a lot of different places. I take story elements from different places and just kind of attach them to me. And even sometimes when I work certain opponents, if I like certain moves they do, I go to Mega Man route and like now I got your power where I kind of like steal like a certain move from type thing, and I kind of use it from time to time. Um, so the context things are like that. It's just that like always trying to reinvent yourself, and it's like wrestlers are fashionistas, you know what I'm saying, or fashionistas. Like we always want to look our best, so we always trying to find a way to stand out, right? Um, so the context for me kind of works out simply because I'm blind as hell and I need to wear contacts anyway, and I always I always want to wear color contacts. So now I'm the final boss. I'm
Gotcha.
like this so now it makes sense and it helps me see in the ring. So there was like I upgrade, I leveled up, like I done went to Cyberpunk 2077 like route. It got me some eye implants and now I can
Listen, I
see.
definitely noticed that. I
I
definitely
saw
noticed.
that.
So like everything that I do in wrestling, like it's always an influence from something or somewhere, and it's usually from like video games, movies, pop culture, and things like that. And I
Right.
just try to integrate it in a realistic way to where it's not too phony and hokey in a way.
Got you. Got you. Now you also hold various titles, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh, well, could you share the titles that you hold and let us know who has been your favorite opponent just thus far?
Okay, that's a good question. So right now, I'm currently the DFW All Pro Wrestling Champion.
I know that's
I'm the in. I'm sorry.
I said I know that's
Oh,
right.
That's the
oh
most
yeah.
important.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I'm the Inspire of one half of the Inspire Twin Dragon Connection Champions, which is pretty much tag team champion. I'm currently the King of Sports Grappler Champion, and I'm also the HOT Network Champion. Um, HOT is Heart of Texas is based in Waco, but they also run a lot in Killeen and Austin. King of Sports runs a lot runs a few in the DFW, but more in East Texas, I believe. Yes. Um, DFW All Pro is of course based in DFW, and Inspire Pro Wrestling is based in Austin. And when we come to favorite opponents, like actually, I can so far if I can name five of my favorite opponents that I've wrestled to where I look back on our matches that I was super fond of. Um, One is one of my former tag team tag team partners, Kyrie Wright. We've had a series of great matches. Um, I would say Tommy Dean. Tommy Dean is an awesome wrestler based out of Oklahoma. I've had several great matches with him. Um, Nathan Bradley, he's an awesome, phenomenal wrestler based out of Houston. He's a current Texas All Star Wrestling champion, but he's a phenomenal athlete. I had great matches with him. Um, I love working. I worked Brian Keith actually like 4 or 5 times in my career, and like every time we've always had a great match. I love working Brian Keith. And fifth, um, fifth is probably my current tag team partner, Stephen Wolf,
Steppenwolf.
because we've
Mhm.
also had a great series of matches that inspired that kind of led to us forming a friendship and becoming the Twin Dragon Connection champions. So, like they so far they I'm not gonna say, I don't want to just offend nobody and just say they're my favorite opponents. It's just I would say that if I think about the matches that I've had, if I have to choose 5 matches from 5 people, I've had my 5 best matches. I feel like with these people.
Got
Are
you.
you able to navigate all those different companies at once, right? To be able to maneuver in between all those organizations and defend the championships.
It's just one of those things about effective planning. Making sure that we work with the companies because one thing that I do like about a lot of promotions is that they're trying to work together to not overlap and run against each other. You know what I mean? So usually a lot of companies that I work for, they kind of work with each other in some kind of way. Whether they either work directly with each other, probably running shows together, or they kind of like coordinate their schedules to where they're not running against each other. So that kind of helps. Um, that kind of helps, but it's really just keeping the calendar updated. When I'm a champion at a promotion, like I prioritize taking their bookings first,
Mhm.
because I'm going to work there anyway, right? So, but usually I prioritize their bookings. So usually if I have a conflict of bookings, I usually choose the promotion that I'm a champion in, simply because I want to respect their championship.
Mm.
And just kind of just to piggyback off of that concept, are you allowed to like wear one championship from one promotion and another one? Is there like cross promotion events like you were saying? Or
Yeah, some promoters are a little bit more open to it. Some are a little bit more strict, but it's just always one of those things where it's just always good to add both promotions. Usually the promotions that they put the belt on you, or when you win the belt, they usually just want you to make sure you just represent the title well, right? But other than that, it's always kind of like it's like with anything, you just ask just to confirm, so you're not defending anyone.
appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Okay. Where have you traveled? Like, what's your territory?
That's how I'm mainly based out of DFW, but I'm always up and down, Central and South Texas, North Texas, like I said, with King of Sports and promotions like that. That runs in East Texas. So I'm normally around Texas, but like I've been to Oklahoma, I've been to Mississippi, I wrestled in Florida, Colorado. I'm actually going to Arkansas next week and Georgia in a couple weeks. And then so I've been into about maybe 4 or 5 states so far, and I'm just trying to turn that into a regular thing.
How's the travel on the family?
Um, it's here and it's there. I mean, like I understand that spouses and kids can only be so supportive and understanding. You know what I mean, especially because I've been going hard for the past 3 years, almost nonstop. Like every weekend is wrestling every single weekend since June 2020. I haven't missed a weekend yet. I've had well over 400 matches in the last 3 years. So,
Mm.
but like I say, my wife is very supportive. Um, you know, it's hard for anybody for the spouse to always be gone, for dad to always be gone. Um, Especially I also still work a full-time job during the week, and I'm also a wrestling trainer, and I also do personal training on the side amongst other things. So it's always go go go. So you know she does well. She does well for the amount that I'm gone. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Any close calls, anything that almost went off the rails. Doing 400 matches, obviously there's times where things go wrong. Has there been a time where it could have went catastrophic?
Man, like in this business, man, everything can be catastrophic because the craziest thing is the injuries that I do get is simple stuff, like at the end of the match, rolling out the ring and I hit my knee on the ground type stuff. I get out the ring and twist my ankle or hyperextend my knee. So that's the craziest thing. Like, yes, I had a couple close calls in my career from crazy things, especially early on. But it was kind of those things to where it's kind of like, well, those are not the things I should be doing. So the usually for me, it's never the crazy things that hurts me. It's always the simple things, bumping into the corner of something, like just, and then now I'm aching for the next. Now my rib hurt because I bumped into the turnbuckle post a little bit too hard. It's always stuff like that.
B?
You said B?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask something a little bit separate. I wanted to ask, what is some advice that you would give to your 13-year-old self?
Oh man, just to go for it, man. Like to not doubt yourself, that confidence and that skill and that talent that you feel that you have on the inside, it's what you actually have. Um, I don't want to make it feel like I'm shitting on anybody. But you can't depend on family and friends to a lot of times to get you over that support hump, right? Um, you can't depend on family and friends. You can't depend on family and friends. A lot of times, um, to do you have to believe in yourself. Hold on, I'm doing a podcast, baby. I'll be right back. I'll be in there.
That's
You
a
can't depend
supportive
on.
wife.
Yes, sir. You can't depend on family and friends to get you over that hump or whatever. And a lot of times when you're trying to do something, uh, although that's cool, and it's not, it might not even be that they don't believe in you or anything like that. It's just that they don't show it in the way that you want to show it. So just go for it. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Do the things that you want to do. Do the things that makes your heart happy,
Okay.
and you'll be okay. So,
I have one final question for you.
yes, sir.
For you, what was it that made you fall in love with wrestling? Like, what match was it that made you say, like, oh my fucking gosh, I love wrestling. I want to be a wrestler. Mom, I want to be a wrestler.
Yeah. So, like I say, like me actually wanting to become a wrestler didn't happen until I was maybe about 2021. But what made me fall in love with wrestling as a fan was I remember it was on Christmas. I think maybe Christmas, whatever Christmas after that TLC that the Dudleys, Edge of Christian, and the Hardys had. We got the TLC tape where it was like an hour long, maybe an hour and a half long. It had a little documentary leading up to the match. Then they had the
Uh-huh.
match, and I probably watched that match maybe 100 times, like when I got that tape. But it was that right there because we never had cable. We didn't get cable until I was like 13 or 14 or whatever. So um, I wasn't really able to watch wrestling consistently, at least the wrestling that I knew about until SmackDown dropped in '99, right? And you know what I'm saying? Because it was on,
And on
local TV, right?
TV,
But it was that TLC match: Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, Edge of Christian. Then Jeff Hardy became my first favorite wrestler. So
Interesting.
So your
Is he on
favorite
your
wrestler
Mount
has changed
Rushmore?
over the years.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Favorite wrestler has changed over the years.
Yeah, like it was Jeff Hardy for a while, and then it immediately like jumped, like it was Randy Orton pretty much from, I mean not Randy Orton, but Jeff Hardy from when I first started watching wrestling until Randy Orton became my favorite wrestler. And then
What year was that? And what did he
that
do to make him
was
become your favorite?
it was Legend Killer Randy Orton. Um, well, actually, Evolution Randy Orton. My bad. Evolution Randy Orton when he transitioned. Was he Legend Killer a little bit during
Yeah, he
Evolution?
was.
I think.
They ran
I think.
around the same time. They ran around.
Yeah, yeah. He saw transition. Yeah. So yeah, it was around Evolution. Cocky hit the pose, Randy Orton. When he really just started, and then my favorite Randy Orton of all time was slithering snake, super skinny bald head Randy Orton. That was my favorite
Oh
Randy Orton of all
yeah.
time.
Type of Randy
Oh,
Orton.
yo, the
2000,
forehead Randy.
2009 Randy, right?
Yeah,
2009,
yeah,
2010
yeah.
Randy.
Randy, yeah.
All right.
That
So
was
Randy.
with that even
yeah.
being said, this is really my last question. I was gonna play a game, but we're running out of time. Maybe we'll do that another time. Maybe you'll come back on the show. You never know. I wanted to ask you. You mentioned Randy Orton. You also mentioned Evolution. Right now, we're kind of talking about factions on this show. Who is or what is your favorite faction of all time?
Man, it's evolution. Like, I guess we might well talk about it. Like it's literally evolution, man. I think evolution did exactly what it was supposed to do as a stable. Like,
Yeah.
it had Ric Flair there as the veteran. It had Triple H there as the present. It had Batista there as the near future. Then they had Randy Orton as the not distant, but you know what I'm saying. It
The
kind of
upstart.
told it of the evolution. Like it's from Ric Flair and it's going to evolve into Randy Orton. You know what I'm saying? That's what it did. It literally from Ric Flair, Triple H, Batista to Orton. Well, it kind of hit Orton first, but then they was kind of like, you know what? We don't think he's great. We're just going to give it back to Triple H or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, but but they ran with Batista first a little bit longer, and then Randy Orton around like 2007, 2008 was when he really became, the world champion.
All right. Well, that was the last of my question. Any of you other kings, any of the
Yeah,
amigos
good
want to
question.
ask him a question?
Nah, I'm good, man, and I really just appreciate your energy, Exodus. For real,
Appreciate you.
you're really dope guest,
I meant
man.
to ask you, what was your Mount Rushmore wrestler?
Oh, right, because
Um,
yeah. You had said Jeff Hardy was your first favorite wrestler. I was asking if you still
yeah.
on your Rushmore.
So when I do my Mount Rushmore, man, like I just can't go off my favorite because my favorites don't necessarily. I think Mount Rushmore is like who changes the foundation of wrestling, right? And for me, like from my memory, from my era, from what I remember of wrestling, it's like it's literally I have to take it from the Attitude Era to the Ruthless Aggression Era, all the way up to maybe I know John. It stops at John Cena as the fourth, but then you got to go back to having like you got to have Stone Cold there. You know what I mean? You gotta, and it's just me because I started watching the Attitude Era, right? People can say Stone Cold, Ric Flair, but see, I didn't watch them like this, so I can't say them, right? But if I'm gonna be honest, these people like don't they might not have been like my favorites, but they was still very iconic to me. So like I say, I have to say it's Stone Cold, The Rock. You have to jump up to like fuck either I say the Eddie Guerrero or Kurt Angle, and then John Cena. That's me personally.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So
Yeah,
That's
that
a
was
that's me
definitely good,
personally.
man.
Good top
old back
five.
in the
It's a
day
great top five.
SmackDown Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
SmackDown.
Max Rushmore. But I'm just saying, like, I mean, I know they on SmackDown, but I can't help the WWE people, are the ones that kind of like, don't get me wrong. I know they draw a lot from indie, but once WWE does it, then it almost becomes a standard in a way. You know what I'm saying? So, and everything trickled down from WWE. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and as I said, I didn't become a wrestling fan until I was maybe 29, 30. I was a WWE fan for 30 years, you know what I mean? So that's kind of where it comes from for me too.
All right. Well, we thank you so much for your time on Friday, December 8th. You'll be a part of an event, Build Different, correct? You'll be
Oh, yes,
teaming up.
sir.
Yes, you will definitely be teaming up with your former nemesis, now good friend, Stephen Wolf. You'll be taking on the Rascals, Myron Reed and Zachary Wentz. Myron Reed is definitely always one of my wrestlers of the week, which is our next thing we're about to do on this show is a wrestler of the week. But y'all going for the VIP tag team titles? You're trying to add
Yes, sir.
more gold and silver to get. Where you gonna put the belts at?
Man, I don't know, man. Like I got this fireplace mantle that's kind of running out of space, so I might have to put it on my TV stand, in my living room.
You
But
gotta get some cases, one of the glass display
but
cases.
oh yeah, you're right. But nah, man, like I'm ready to go ahead and add those VIP titles to my arsenal, and I'm finally happy that Myron Reed can stop ducking me. I've
Mm.
been trying to get this match for the past year and a half, and
He was
although it's
busy,
not
no?
the he's busy, but I don't think. I mean, we can say it's busy, but let's also just be real about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can ruin a lot of Myron's credibility about being this young goat. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's all that I'm saying. Right? You know what I'm
We don't need the
saying?
Cannabis
So
Cut
LL
that
going on.
promo,
I
bro.
get it.
Cut
I
that
get it.
promo.
I get it.
I don't.
Cannabis LL. So what if he
So
I
I,
goes
mean,
to DFW to
he
get
kind of
the
uh,
still
belt
is.
since you're talking greasy?
He kind
you
of
say,
still
say
is ducking you.
say it again. Hold on,
I
say it
said, what
again.
if he comes on down to DFW to come get the All Pro Championship since you're talking greasy? He might find
I
some
mean, like,
time to free up some time.
listen, bro. Like, listen, it's a tag team match. That's cool, but I prefer the
Mm.
singles match. And like I say, if we put the title on the line,
Mm-hmm.
and that's going to motivate him to want to come fight me, that he feel like he's something to gain. I'll put the title on the line. You know what I mean? It don't really matter to me. So I just want the match.
You called him out right
So
here
I just
on the
want the
Three
match.
Amigos
But
Show podcast.
but like
Myron,
I
what's
say,
up? We're gonna do tag team, but what's up with the
The
singles
singles,
like I
man.
belt?
say,
Get that come get that singles fade, man.
Get that smoke.
like I said, like I
Wait,
said, whenever he feel like he ready, when he feel like he
Mm-hmm.
ready, I'm here.
You right
Hector,
there.
where
Well,
we
thank
can
you.
find you at?
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
you find me at? Social media, on social media, or just in general.
I don't want to know exactly what your address is, but
Not my address. I'm
you
like in
told me.
general, like
yeah, man.
like shows and stuff, right? You know what I mean, like shows and stuff, right? But no, social media, of course, Twitter and Instagram at the Mass Exodus. That's the_Mass Exodus. Facebook just Exodus Prime. I don't have TikTok. They deleted me for whatever reason. But shows coming up, man. I got a lot of good things coming up next week. I'm gonna be wrestling with Soar. I'm going against the Future. There at Soar. Out there in Arkansas, and out there in Arkansas, and then the following week, I'm going to be a DFW All Pro again. More than likely defending this bad boy right here.
Mm.
Beautiful
And
title,
then
sir.
being the busy, hard working workhorse that I am, as soon as I finish defending this bad boy, I'm going to hop in a van, drive 16 plus hours to Georgia, bust some people from Georgia's head to come right back and then give the time to my family like a real man should.
As you
Oh,
should.
We need you to come up
Clap
here
it
to
up for
New
that
York.
goddamn man. That's why he's player
See,
one.
There's a
Give
lot
it
of
up,
there's
ladies
a
and
lot of
gentlemen.
wrestling talent
Massive.
up here in the Northeast, and and I think that's going to be your next. That should be your next trip when it's possible.
Yes, sir. No, like that's definitely my goal to get up to the Northeast, to the Midwest, all that, man. Like, I want the world to know who Exodus Prime is. I feel like the world deserves to know who Exodus Prime is, and I really want to show the world who Exodus Prime is. So trust me, I'm working trying to get up there and do all that. So, but it's in the works. It's in the works.
We love it. We love it.
Can I take us out now or any
Yeah,
other
you,
last?
you can. You can.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much,
We
Mr.
appreciate
Exodus Prime, for giving us your time. And
Thank
letting
y'all.
us know maybe this interview helped people to understand you a little bit more. And that's why we have the 1, 2, 3 count right here on the Three Amigos Show. Thank you so much for your time. Bless
Thank
up,
y'all.
King. Have a good night. Enjoy dinner.
You
keep
too.
Show love to
keep
the missus
collecting
for
those
us.
titles, man. Keep
Yeah,
collecting
hope
them,
you
Yes,
get
bro.
them
sir.
titles.
Let's have a good night. Thank you.
No
Thank you.
problem. Well, we're going to close this up to 2 hours. That was a definitely great interview. Great questions, guys. We got a whole lot of different type of questions from
Yeah.
different things. If you guys who are tuning in, listening, and or watching, you have questions for either Jay Bougie the week before or Exodus Prime, make sure you comment, right, in these videos. That's why you should subscribe, like, and share. We're gonna go with our wrestlers of the week, and then we're gonna take it out of here. Anybody? What's your wrestler of the week?
I'll jump off with the wrestler of the week. I would say my wrestler of the week is somebody we all know, a household name, a gentleman who's been kicking ass for a very long time. The one and only Samoa Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, Samoa Joe is my wrestler of the week. And not only because he was the longest reigning king of television, ROH television champion, he relinquished the title this past week on Dynamite. 574 days. 574 days. And he's declared that he's coming for the AEW, the Triple B belt. MJF has got one hell of a task ahead of him, and all these competitors gunning for him. And I think not only just because he accomplished that, but his last match as ROH television champion was very good. It was a very good match against Keith Lee. For those of you who followed Samoa Joe, he's always had this broad body type. But
Damn, it's the wrestler of the week. We gotta get like timing. We gotta have timing.
I'm sorry, man. I just feel like he got to get his flowers, bro. It's the best shape I've seen him in a long time. So I'm just saying, Samoa Joe, wrestler of the week, bro.
Mash out.
Well, I'm gonna go with Keith Lee. He actually put on a phenomenal match against Samoa Joe.
Sour D's.
Oh, my wrestler of the week. You want to know my wrestler of the week? The wrestler of the week, ladies and gentlemen, is me. I'm the wrestler of the week.
That's really good. That's a good one. That Park Championship is undefeated. Wow. It's amazing. Everyone was so long-winded. I forgot who the hell my wrestler was. So I'm just gonna make one up on the fly. I'm gonna go with I don't have
Zoe Starks.
I don't have. I loved her work this week. I love Zoe, but I picked her before on this show. So
You did.
Keep picking people that I picked before. So
what about
I don't really have a wrestler this week.
Santos Escobar?
No,
what?
Definitely not him.
No Santos?
Nope.
Grayson Waller?
Nope.
Grayson Waller?
I picked him before.
Kevin Owens?
No. Won't be him.
Harry Sane?
Exodus Prime.
Definitely, I will never.
Exodus Prime?
It will be Liv Morgan before it's
Butcher? Blade? Bunny?
You go with Exodus.
You know what I want to know? Mash out. How much candy do you have over there? Because it went from a bubble gum to a lollipop.
Y'all drinking anything tonight?
I had 3 shots of Jack.
So I'm ready. I'm ready for bed.
I took 3 shots of Jack tonight, and I followed it up with a shot of tequila.
So is Jack and Koala? They both was there?
Jack Koala. That's what I had.
Jack Koala.
Jaquala was in the building.
My favorite drink, a Jaquela.
Is that your final word? We're going to go to the countdown. Cam, if we let you do this countdown right now, are you going to go through it? Or
I'm gonna go through it, and I'm gonna just take your feedback, and we gonna wrap up the show.
Hey, yo, pause. He said he'll take our feedback.
3, 2, 1. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you all been waiting for. I think so. It is the Disputed Countdown.
Let's go with the Disputed Countdown this week. This week's topic on the Disputed Countdown is the top celebrity wrestlers. Top 10 top celebrity wrestlers of all time.
Oh, you really sold that.
Go. I try. All right, number 10. Rodzilla, the Worm, Dennis Rodman at number 10.
Wow.
Okay. Number 9.
Only because I don't have time to argue today. Go
Number
ahead.
9. LT Lawrence Taylor.
Bam,
Did he-
bam, you're gonna get slammed.
Did he even really cut promos? I don't even remember.
I mean, this is his
Hold on,
this is his
let's be
96
fair.
match
Let's be
in
fair.
WrestleMania 12, wasn't it? Or was that WrestleMania 11?
Come on, let's be fair.
It was 11.
Most
was
celebrity
11.
wrestlers have done one match. All right.
95.
But, anyway, we're moving forward. At number 8, the legend himself, WWE Hall of Famer, Andy Kaufman. Andy the Cough Kaufman.
You know what I need to call? I need to call at this broadcast list. That's what I need to call on.
Number 7,
7. We're only at 7. My God.
Maria Menounos.
Maria Menudo.
You know what, ladies and
From
gentlemen?
Access Hollywood?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final countdown, the disputed countdown, is full of shit.
Number
Go
6. It's celebrity wrestlers, man. There's a theme, there's a reason, there's a crescendo coming. All right.
Oh,
Number 6,
look at those
Snooki.
dimples.
Snooki.
Now Snooki had a great match. You all remember Snooki's match? It was
Did
very
she did like the
together.
flying thing on top of everybody?
right, and then she did the triple backflip thing.
Dimples.
Elbow, you know what I mean? Number 5, another Hall of Famer. I pity the fool, Mr. T. At number 5.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Here we go. Here's where it
Oh,
gets
this
Here's
is
where
Now
it
we're
the
in
most
the top 5.
outdated list.
We're in the top
here's where it
5.
gets interesting.
Oh,
Number 4, Pat
Outdated.
McAfee.
Okay.
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 Pat McAfee. Number
Yeah.
in the top
3.
2, but
This one's gonna get some disputes, but number 3, Mr. Stephen Amell.
he did
You
great
know what?
in his match
He
with
did,
Cody
right?
Rhodes. He did good.
Right? He had
You know
some good
something?
matches. He had
You
some-
LL Cool, you bald head LL Cool J in the face ass, in too deep. You ain't no cop J Reed. What the fuck is this list?
Number 2,
Right.
number 2 on the top celebrity wrestlers of all time, Bad Bunny. You know what I
Bob
mean?
Boney.
Bad Bunny.
Mm.
All right, and the number 1 top celebrity wrestler of all time. We don't really like him, but we still respect his work. Logan Paul.
Oh, wow.
And reigning WWE United States champion.
So what was the theme of the list?
I'm sorry?
You said this is gonna make sense. That's what you said. What was the theme of the list? You said this
To
was
the
gonna make
United
sense.
States champion, Logan
No,
Paul.
no. I'm holding Cam accountable. You said this will all make sense at the end.
Right.
What are you
it's a
eating?
crescendo
Peanut chew?
to the top celebrity wrestlers. So we don't count Logan Paul as a celebrity wrestler?
I thought there was like a spoof kind of thing here. Like I didn't think you were serious with Snooki being on the
Nope.
list, or you know. And
It
Andy
went
Kaufman-
from
You chose Snooki. You chose Snooki.
Drew
That's
Carey
what the
was
fuck
in
you
the
did.
Royal Rumble.
exactly.
You know
Also,
something?
what
He
about?
stood face to face with Kane.
Hold on.
You
What
son
about?
of a bitch.
Hold on. What do y'all forget? Another WWE Hall of Fame, the only Hall of Fame he's allowed to be in. Pete Rose.
Oh,
Pete
Pete Rose!
Pete
Pete
Rose.
Rose!
Pete Rose was in 3 different WrestleManias.
I swear I was about to name him. I was going to name him.
There was a top
Oh.
20 Pete Rose would have been on it, but it's top
Oh.
10.
You couldn't even name Burt
Snooki
Reynolds.
had to be there.
I could only
You,
pick that.
you know who you didn't even go with? You didn't even
Why
choose
it's disputed,
Brock.
guys? This is my opinion. This is my
This
list.
is
This-
opinion.
I'm telling you.
Andy Kaufman.
Telling
And
you.
Andy Kaufman wasn't
this
even
list.
in the WWE.
Bullshit.
I never said it was limited to WWE. I said it was celebrity wrestlers. Are you not paying attention? Does your beats not?
Ladies and
not-
gentlemen,
I don't get it. I don't
He
get.
said-
You had your
he
beats
had
on
Rodzilla.
upside down
Rodzilla
for
wasn't
like
in WWE.
7,000 plus shows. You finally put it on right side up.
you
And
smell
all of a sudden, you can't hear properly.
what the Rock is
Put it
cooking.
back upside down. I
His
don't know
list
what
is
to tell you.
tainted. I took my headset off. I am not hearing anything else. I am done, ladies and gentlemen. Cam officially wore me out.
Mr. Anderson. Oh
You
no.
know what? Let's see what the fans say about this. Let's see what the fans say about the list. Okay.
Kennedy.
No, where is he? Get me to him.
Kennedy. Kennedy.
Cam, that's your final word.
That's my final word on the list. That's it.
All right. If you guys agree with the list, like the list, or would like to add to the list, once again, like, comment, subscribe,
Listen.
share, do all that good stuff. Let us know what you think, even on the post. On our social
Listen,
media.
guys.
Sour D's, your final words.
If you want to build, what the fuck is going on here?
How King double
There's
himself?
clones.
How did he double himself?
There's two of them.
Listen, if you would like, if by any chance, if you're building a Molotov cocktail, I want you to throw it at Cameron when you see him. This was bullshit. And that's my final thought, and that's what I gotta say about that. God damn it.
Well, with that said, what an interesting show this has been. From the
Cam
Turnbuckle-
sabotage the show.
the Turnbuckle Talk, to Exodus Prime, to the Smoking Section Session, to the Undisputed Disputed list. So I'm going to leave us with a quick random thought, and I don't even think it's fitting for this show or this episode, because the random thought is excellence only, excellence always, excellence period. Of course, that's not for this show, because it's a complete shit show. But thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of the Three Amigos podcast
brought to you by-
show. And we're out.